Hi, welcome back again. It is Laura over at Hyperstamper. I have a really pretty junk journal to show you today. This is a wedding junk journal. However, usually I make every single page the same theme as the journal, but this time I got a few emails just saying I could add in some other variety of pages into the theme journals. So for this one, it is a wedding journal, but it is also filled with other kinds of ephemera as well. So a little bit of both, best of both worlds. So I'm going to take you on a little tour here. I got some white ribbon and trim down the side here, some beautiful trim here, and then this is all vintage doilies, and this one here is handmade lace. Look at that beautiful piece there. That is very old. I've got a piece of Chantilly lace here from the 70s from a wedding dress. I've got some crochet here, a different kind of crochet here, and then this gorgeous vintage brooch, which actually has some value. You can Google camera that and find out about that. And then I just wrapped around some vintage cotton to the back. So let's go through this beautiful journal, and then I'll put it in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. So let's take a look at all this beautiful, authentic, and vintage ephemera. Excuse me. The very first page here, those are the original first cover pages. It's very pretty, isn't it? And then this here is a pressed calla lily. My neighbor gave me this when I wasn't feeling well, and look at that. So I pressed it. I couldn't believe it turned out so beautiful. This is just a really fun cluster with this woman down here who I'm pretending is a bride fixing herself in the mirror. And then this is one of Stacy's bride bingo from 1955. Look how much fun that game is. It looks brand new, but it is 70 years old. Over here in this fun little pocket here, we've got a king and queen back there, and a princess and a prince. And then this is a beautiful envelope from 1925, so exactly 100 years old. But look at this card inside. I did have to reinforce it because the flap at the back had come apart from the envelope base. But look at this wonderful card in here. October 2nd, 1925. The friends we care about. There are friends we care a lot about. Well, others we could live without. But oh, whatever could we do if it were not for friends like you? I just love that. Because friends are certainly a part of our wedding ceremonies. So I'm going to put that back in here. And then this piece is a proof that came from a wedding in Buffalo in the 1950s. Isn't that beautiful? And then this page here is from an old book, and that chapter is called Getting Married. This is just a great vintage page here on a calendar year for gardening. And this down here, this is from Lavender and Old Lace, the bride and groom chapter. Now look at this from the 1950s. This is a Hollywood Star magazine, and this is a Hollywood couple getting married. Look at these pictures. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Anne Blythe and Dr. Jim. They're great. So a really great little piece of nostalgia there. And this is from the 40s, a wedding gift. And the great thing is it was never used. So you can actually use this if you wanted, or you can journal in it. There's lots of journaling space there. Just a really beautiful piece. A nice vintage children's book page here. And this is a handwritten thesis paper. And I love that it has the black and the red ink on it. And this is a this one is 1940s or 30s. Sorry, I do forget. The little called Stickum book. We've got the little boy here, the market. And then this I pulled from a magazine from the 1930s, 1933 to be exact. True Love. Another wonderful children's book page. And this here is called A Gray-Headed Woodpecker. This is very old, from a Birds of the World book, and I'm gonna say this is about 75 years old, but I just like it because it's Mr. and Mrs. Woodpecker there and their egg. Oh, that's it. That's what it's called. Birds and Their Nests and Eggs of North America. So there you go. I love it. Journaling space down here. And then this here is from the early 1920s, The Flower Girl, and some little child painted that. I think that's really sweet. And then I put antique paper on the back for you to journal some memories on. This is from the 60s, from an art book. This is a vintage map, and this one is Florida. We've got Miami there, and West Palm Beach, and a place that back in the 40s and 50s, a lot of honeymooners went. My parents actually went to Florida from Canada. They drove down for their honeymoon. Then we've got this here. It is a vintage recipe. Mexican wedding cookies. I just thought that was really cool. And then we've got this wonderful 100-year-old children's cursive writing exercise book page. And this came from a 1956 My Book House series page. And then it's this horse and gentleman here getting married. So the horse is the bride. I've used quite a few of those because I've gone through so many of the My Book House pages, or books, publications. This is just awesome. It's from the 40s. Look at this. How wonderful. These are embroidery patterns, and we've got the engagement, the wedding, the baby, and the inevitable housework that you have to do after all of that happens. So this is just a great 1940s theater arts magazine page here, and another exercise book page. And I put this antique stamp up here because it is the king and queen. So that's kind of great for a wedding, right? This here is from the 70s, so it is vintage, truly vintage. It is over 50 years old. And of course, that is a little bridal shower card and envelope that made it through all these years. That's the flip side of that beautiful painting print. This is in here on a little clip because you can remove it, but it's your something blue. So this whole book is the old, putting it together is the new, and you're gonna have to add something borrowed, but there's your something blue. Vintage, beautiful, actually vintage botanical page, sugar maple, one of my favorites. And then in here, this is from 1908. And look at this. It says, "To my sweetheart." Isn't that beautiful? The little Cupid up here and the angels all around. And it looks like he may be proposing to her, but it's absolutely beautiful. And I've been saving that for a wedding journal. This, you can see this is still on the tool there. And that is Chantilly lace from the vintage wedding dress. And I just thought this looked like a little party of children going down the aisle, maybe the flower girls and ring bearers. Isn't that pretty? And then I just put some antique paper on the back of that as well. That is from the 50s. And then over here, this is great. This is from 1896. It's got the date on there. And it is a half of a stereoscope, and it is on the happy wedding day. Isn't that beautiful? And this here is one of my favorite wedding pieces. I've been saving it actually for years, but look at this girl here. She's got her bouquet of flowers. Somebody's handwritten the colors that they were going to make it. I just think that is so pretty. And that is very old. You would have ironed that onto some cotton and then embroidered it. So that might have been a gift, shower gift for a bride. For little hand towels maybe, or pillowcase. We've got more vintage gardening books here. And then these are vintage playing cards. I, again, pulled the king and queen. Happy couple. This is a little couple of gerbils. That is from 1959, a little children's sticker book page. And I'm just gonna pop that in there. Sorry. I want everything to be in the right place. And this came from a vintage watercolor, how to watercolor book. And those are some roses because so many brides do have roses. And then that is all on top of an early 1900s shorthand page. This came from a 1927 catalog, Eaton's catalog, and look at diamond rings. Had to have that in a wedding journal. Oh, look at that beautiful necklace there. So it's really quite spectacular. And then this came from a 120-year-old book. He fell in love with his wife. Perfect, right? And this is another vintage page here, The Bride of Newgate, and you can journal all around there. You can add your pictures. You can gift this to somebody who got married or is getting married or has an anniversary coming up. It's just wonderful to have these kinds of historic pieces to add your own history to. This is from the 1890s, and there's a poem about love here. And this is from Freckles from 1904, Meets a Man. Freckles meets a man, just like the bride meets a man. This is also a 50-year-old lace from a wedding dress, a different wedding dress. And that is 1955. Postage stamp, that came from a wedding dress as well. I just tied it into a little bow. Little love doves down here. And then this is from 1895, What Women Are Doing, journaling tag. They are getting married for this journal. Beautiful plate here. Some graph paper. Some more postage stamp. There's a North America here. And then we have just a really fun little, another woodpecker, blue jay, cardinal owl, another fun children's book page there. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.